Hello, everyone, and welcome to RWB Sports. Hi, this is Reginald Peoples, and today we have a very special guest. I don't know if you remember on the show a couple of weeks ago, before September 5th, we was talking to a young lady who was getting ready to come up on a major event September 5th at the Wind Creek Casino. And I'm talking about no other than Brittany EagleFlex Sims. As she went into the fight September 5th at the Wind Creek Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, with the fact of knowing that if she put in the work and she put in the effort, she would come out victorious and she would be the new WBA International Bantamweight Champion. And so tonight, here she is. Once again, she's back. Let's welcome Brittany EagleFlex Sims to the show.
Hi, thank you, Reggie, for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. First of all, I want to go ahead and say congratulations on your victory.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that
Uh,
too.
how does it feel being a champion for the second time?
Uh, I mean, it feels good. My team and I, we got the job done. I'm more relieved that we did everything that we said that we were gonna do. The plans that we had throughout each rounds worked out. So I'm actually very thrilled. My team is thrilled that we were able to secure that victory.
Okay, well, let me ask you something about your opponent. She came in and she was a very adamant competitor. I mean, she came in and she came in to win. How was fighting for this title different than you winning the other titles of the NABF and the WBO title? How was this one any different?
Well, similar to the gal that I fought for both of those belts, the WBA Intercontinental and the NABF Bantamweight belts, McKenna Tansley. The gal that I fought for this current belt, the WBA International Bantamweight Champion, Natalia Francesca.
Mm-hmm.
They're both formidable foes. Like they
Okay.
were both formidable foes. I'm just happy to be able to be in the ring with talented women like that who are working to get higher in the rankings and secure their goal of becoming world champion. But the fight with Natalia was it was she was most of the fight she was very aggressive, and I have not fought a lot of people who match the energy that I have in aggression. Um
Right.
but during that fight, I remembered, oh man, she's strong and she's aggressive. There's one point where usually I use my shoulder to bump into my opponent and they just fall back. This time I didn't. She didn't move. I said, okay, this is what we're doing today.
Right.
So so for me, my teammate, one of my actually my sparring partner Jonathan Rodriguez, as well as my teammate Tanjay and Akeem the Tiger Teasley, they both told me that if I'm having someone be the aggressor, now it's time to box.
Oh,
Especially with going those championship rounds, it's time to box. So that's what we
yes.
did.
Well, tonight we have a special presentation, and this is for those that were there at the event and for those that didn't get to see the event. We have 6 rounds of your fight that we're going to show, and I'm going to get you to analyze them as we go through. We have the first and through the third rounds, and then we have what we call the championship rounds, the eighth through the 10th, along with the crowning of the new champion. But before all that, we're going to have the ring walk. And when you see this, I want you to tell the fans, I want you to tell the ones that were there and the ones that are watching tonight what it was like as you were standing there, hear your name being called, hear your accolades being announced before you made that walk to the ring. I'll tell you what,
Okay.
let's go ahead and get into it. And here we are right here.
EagleFlex Sims!
So here we are.
Would you like me to talk during or?
And I do apologize. I did not get the ring walk in there. I do apologize. I thought I got the ring walk in there. I do
Okay.
apologize. Let me start this over and let's go back in. Let's go back into this one. Okay, here we go. Now, here we go. This is the one that we're talking about. The ring walk. You're standing there. You anticipating. Then we come into the
Yes.
ring.
Yes. So during this time, it's more of me just giving thanks to God for allowing me to be in this arena on this platform, thanking him for my team, Coach Indio, Coach Louis, Coach Nelson, my sparring partner Jonathan, just for all of us to be able to get through this fight camp, and just thanking God for allowing me to step into the ring again and glorifying him doing what I have to do.
Right. Now, and I noticed too that your trainer and some of your stablemates, they came out with the Mexican headgear on as the Mexican wrestlers. What was that about? Was they giving tribute to your stablemates, giving tribute to your trainers?
One, the song was to give tribute to my trainers, except Coach Nelson's Dominican, so I mean, hopefully that worked. But um, Mark Anthony is also one of my favorite artists, and so
Okay.
um, I wanted to give tribute to them, and just as thanks. But the mask if you notice my suit, it's Nacho Libre. It's this movie with Jack Black. Is That's one of my favorite movies, so
Okay.
it's fitting. If you watch the movie and no EagleFlex, then it's fitting.
Yes, it's very fitting, and now we're getting ready to get into the first round. This is going into the first round here, as they are doing all the accolades of each fighter, announcing your opponent first and what she's accomplished in the ring and her spot and being there, and then they get to you and your accolades in the sport and what you are doing there, and then we're going to get into the actual fight. And so let's go ahead and get into that, and you can analyze, the first round. What was going through your mind at this time as you walk back to your corner, you got the instructions, and now it's time to go to work?
Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to set out of our beginning plan. Coach Indio says to go in and kind of show her your power, kind of show her that kind of establish dominance in that type of way. So our strategy was establishing dominance was with the jab, because the jab is the most important punch. Letting
Right.
it go. Later on, you'll see I'll let go of some combinations, but right now we're kind of filling each other out, kind of testing each other, to see who's stronger, who has the better movements, who can gauge distance better.
Right. Well, I'm going to say, and I must say, I've seen you fight several times. This is a new EagleFlex Sims that I saw September the 5th. You were
Thank you.
giving angles, you was giving head movement, you was slipping, you was parlaying punches, that everything she would throw, you would have a counter for it. You was on your bicycle, you was moving. Is that something that you knew you had to do coming into this fight? Were you able to get film of your opponent and build a game plan accordingly? Or is this just a new Eagle Flex that we're going to see here in the future?
I think that it's both. It's more of the second one, but the second one of this is the style of Eagle Flex. But it's also mainly because of my team. I had these in my arsenal prior to coming to Indio's boxing gym. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, but the way that we work at Indio's boxing gym is working on those angles and basically working on everything that we did in that ring, from offense to defense. My training partner for this fight camp was Jonathan Rodriguez. So he really, even though I studied her, he really studied her too, and really worked on mimicking her style while adding
Right.
in his own style in the pressure.
Okay. And I've noticed something too in the first round. Like you said, you're establishing the jab, and in establishing the jab is you were jabbing to the head, you jabbing to the body, you jabbing to the head, you jabbing to the body. It's like you're setting something up. Was that
Mhm.
the game plan going into it? Is to what I call climb the ladder, going to body, head, body, to set up other punches?
Oh yes, absolutely. My again, when I say coaches, I mean Indio, Louis, and Nelson. In our training camp, we worked on going to the body, not always going for that head because it's more like chopping down the tree. You kind of want to
Mm-hmm.
slow your opponent down, especially with those body shots, especially with that straight stab to that body. What
Right.
we also wanted to do was kind of create openings, and taking the openings that were naturally there, but also creating those openings in the later rounds. And that,
Right.
I think, is how important the jab was, especially in this fight. Because in doing going to the head, the chest, and the body, with my jab, it started making her think, oh, she can go anywhere. So hopefully in the later rounds we'll see that, but that's what that jab was for.
Okay, and so what we're going to do is that we're going to go on to the second round here as things heat up a little bit because you've gone through the filling out round, you've gotten a little more comfortable in the ring with her in front of you. So we're going to go to round two of this WBA title bout.
I will add that in this second round, we wanted to stay active with that jab, which is what you'll soon will see, just to keep the pace and just staying focused on what we were planned on doing.
Okay, let's see if we can get it started. Here we go. We're just starting now into the second round. And now I'm going to turn it over to you and I'm going to let you analyze the second round.
Okay. Well, in this round, we learned that this was going to be a good fight, and that this fight was going to have to be won through skill and endurance. So we stayed patient and stuck with our strategy, really utilizing the head movement, footwork, and the jab, followed by a quick cross or right hand, and then hitting an angle. Digging down deep because we knew that those openings would come. So we really wanted to stay focused on what we were doing.
Okay. And so in doing so, you were able to establish dominance because that right here, right here in the second and third rounds, you start picking up the pace a little bit. Like you said, you knew that she was strong. You knew she wasn't going anywhere. So the minute you come out in the second round, you're starting to show your power. You're starting to, include your power along with your speed and your tactics to keep you working with your foot.
Yeah, so a lot of the power really came from our timing. I wasn't really trying to punch hard because we know that I have some heavy punches. So we weren't really looking to overthrow or overpower ourselves. We're really
Mm-hmm.
looking to make that connection, trying to get those punches at the end of trying to connect at the end of my punches. Um and then it also brings in the mindset of when I was running track. I was a 400 hurdler, 400-meter runner. So it's just like running the 400. You get out that first 150 meters, it's the coast, and then at the last few rounds or the last few meters, you're sprinting.
Okay. And so that was the end of the second round. And so now we're going to get into the third round. And the third round is where I notice you start using even more footwork. It was like you came out and you was comfortable knowing what she had to offer as far as skill, power, and speed. Now you're starting to dig deep into your bag and starting to pull out more things. So let me go ahead and cue up the third round.
Okay. And even while this is going, in this round, it's time to coach. This is where Coach Indio, Coach Nelson, and Coach Louis said, "All right, it's time to have fun. It's time to stay focused and relax." So this is what you'll see here. And if you can tell with that jab, I'm working on trying to bring her to my pace. I don't want to go at her pace. I want her to follow my pace and my cadence of punches. That's why that jab is also very important and was very important in this fight.
Right, and you established it early.
Right.
Now that was a little mishap. I don't think I caught it on here, but I don't know if it was this one or not. But yeah, I was a little concerned at that point because I didn't know how they would go about doing that. But each one of you was respectful of the other,
Yeah.
and gave each other time to do what you had to do in order to get back into the sport and get back into the bout, and that was very respectful. Is that something that happens often? I think there it was right there.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I love about women's boxing is or women's sports in general is the women's empowerment, even though we're going up against each other. So if you've seen like some women who wear the hijab, sometimes when their headdress falls, there a lot of women just surround her so she can bring her headdress back on. And I
Okay.
feel like that's something similar within boxing as well. It's just the respect. We're wearing these tops. We don't want things to get seen. And just her giving me that respect and me doing that the same with her, that just shows that we're respectable warriors in there.
Right. I mean, because it happened to both of you, and like I said, that's one of the
Yeah.
things that I was saying is that it was a very respectful moment at that point. Even though you were two warriors going at it, and both of you had a set goal in mind was to come out victorious. You still showed that sportsmanship towards one another in that. So let me ask you this. Now that was the end of round 3. We're getting ready to get into the championship rounds of 8, 9, and 10. As you were going back to your corner, now that we're getting into the championship rounds, what was Coach Indio's or stablemate Jonathan telling you at this point? Were they letting you know that you were ahead on the card, or were they letting you know that it was still close? What were they telling you at this point?
Coach Indio and Coach Louis and Coach Nelson, they were telling me that I was doing a very good job, and we're going through the different plans or strategies that we worked on during this whole camp. He would tell me They would tell me to do certain things. Like for an example, Coach Louis told me it's time to go to your 3 punch combinations and get out the way. So it's more of okay, you did really good that last round. Now it's time to let that round go. We're going into the next round, and now I want you to work on this. This is what I want you to work on. It is so important for boxers to listen to their corners and do what their corners say, because their corner is watching what's going on. So
Right.
between those rounds, it's more of us locking in, me telling them, hey, this isn't working, and then them working around that. Okay, let's modify it. Let's do this. Let's do that. So that's what we were doing in that ring in the corner.
Okay. Now, and I'm glad you brought that up because there's so many fighters, or there's so many fans watching that really don't understand that even though they say it's the loneliest sport in the world, they don't understand that is how important your corner is in a fight like that, and how important it is for you to listen to your corner. Now, let me ask you this: while you're in there in a fight, you're thinking one thing. You come to the corner, and your coaches are telling you something different. Have you ever been, just dumbfounded and been like, "What? I mean, where are you getting that from? I don't see it."
Yeah, so that would happen during fight camp. So during
Okay.
fight camp is when we're able to hash everything out. I'm thinking I'm doing one thing. Coach Indio, whoever's courting me, Nelson or Louis, they're telling me, "Hey, you're not doing this." And there's one time. Here's the thing. There's one where I was sparring with Jonathan, and he's just peppering me with combinations similar to how Natalia fights. And I had to stop. I said, "Okay, stop." Like I had to pause the 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 sparring, and I looked at my corner. I go to Coach Indio. I go to my coaches. I said, "I'm getting frustrated. I don't understand like what you want me to do." And from there,
Right.
now we're able to break it down. We're able to break it down. That's another strategy that we're doing, and you'll see that within the these championship rounds. She comes out very aggressive, very aggressive. Now
Right.
you'll see that I'm staying calm. I'm still establishing that my jab doesn't matter. It's like running the last. Here we are in the last 150 meters of a 400. That those
Right.
last few meters, you gotta relax. You gotta relax. You can't tits up. You can't get frustrated. So it's more use that jab. So
Okay.
that's something that we worked on in fight camp. Yes.
Okay, and that's what we get ready to do. We get ready to go into the first of the last three rounds. We get ready to go into the eighth round of a 10-round title bout. So we're going to go into that, and I'm going to turn the stage back over to you once again.
Hey, now this is the eighth round. We're putting everything together. We're taking the advantage of the openings that we established in that first round of using that jab. There's openings there, and that was because of that jab. Um, and we're also being very wary of my own weaknesses, because if she's tired, I might be tired. So just
Right.
staying it's in paying attention to not only what she's doing, and I'm listening to my corners here, but now I got to focus on what I'm doing as well.
Okay. Now, how important is it, or how hard is it to train yourself? Because you can hear all the noise, all the ambient noise in the arena. I'm pretty sure you can hear other people around the ring. How difficult is it to pick out your trainer's voice as you're in there? You got somebody in front of you trying to knock your head off, but yet you're still trying to listen for your coach's voice. How difficult is that, and how much do you all work on that in camp?
We work on it a lot. There's one point where I did get frustrated in a fight camp sparring, because everybody was talking to me. I'm listening to everybody. And
Right,
that's where my coaches said, "Hey, you just need to listen to me." And so it's for me to focus on that. It's what comes down to trust. You gotta trust your corner. Because I trust my corner,
right,
that's the only person that I can hear. Because I trust my team, they're the only voices that I can hear. So
right,
it's kind of like, I hate to compare myself to an animal, but it's kind of like in a dog who has their owner. They have their own owner, and you can
right,
hear everybody. That dog can hear everybody's voices, but when that owner calls them, they're running to them. So
right.
that's kind of a different. That's kind of the analogy that I have.
Okay, okay. And that was the end of round eight, and we finalized round eight there, and then we're going to go right into round nine and 10. So we're going to get ready right after round nine. We're going to go right into round 10 and get ready to wrap everything up. But then getting into round 10, I think the fans and yourself are going to be able to explain what goes on there at the end a lot better than I can. So let's go ahead and jump into round nine real quick.
Okay.
So this is round nine of a 10-round bout. As you can see, you would think at this point, women are just now getting to the point to where they're going to start fighting for 3 rounds for championship bouts. This one here is a 10 2-minute rounder, and as you can tell, if you can see the anticipation on her opponent's face, she's a lot more aggressive right now. She's throwing a lot more punches. She's taking more chances, as the fighting world would say. So, what are you noticing right now, champ, that she's doing different that she hasn't done the entire fight?
I'm noticing that she's really utilizing that right hand. I notice in her body language how she is being more. See, there you see that right hand.
Yes.
So because of that, you'll see in a few moments how I'll adjust to that. Because usually you're supposed to get hit twice before you're supposed to block it. So you'll see in a few moments. I believe this is the one how I'll adjust to it and try to negate that right hand. And using those uppercuts too. Those were really
Yes.
important.
Yeah, I saw you throw more uppercuts in this fight than I've seen you throw in probably any fight in the past, and it's to the point to where I mean, they were perfect. They were perfectly placed. They were perfectly timed. It was like it was part of your arsenal because each time you went to the corner and came back out, there was a new dimension of EagleFlex that we haven't seen that we saw. And that's why I say when we get into the 10th round, that championship round, you're going to see a whole new EagleFlex. And now we're going to go ahead and get right into that 10th round. So we're going to go ahead and add this one to the platform so we can go ahead and get right into it. This is the 10th and final round.
This is where I really had to rely on my strength and conditioning, neck exercises, endurance. This is where it comes down to it. Just staying patient and focused.
Right. Now, how much of, because I noticed you got a lot of defense that you normally do. You're doing a lot of slipping. You're doing a lot of bending at the knees. And you're doing a lot of different variations of height. You're going up and down, but you're using your legs to do so. How different was that for you to grasp in such a short amount of time before this fight?
I don't. Well, I think it was always there. Just I'm sorry. Because of the way we train, I always had it.
Okay. So it was just something that you've had in your arsenal. You just haven't had the right opponent in front of you to use it. Now this one, like I said, Francesca, she came to
That's correct.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came to take that belt, and she brought out the best in you, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. She did bring out the best in me. I'm sorry, I'm having some camera trouble. Let me see if I can fix it. There we are.
That's okay. You're fine.
And you know, okay, and just working with my team at Indios Boxing Gym, the coaches, we really started working a lot on that as well.
Right.
And especially defense.
Yeah, because, I mean, your defense, like Mike Tyson said, your defense in this fight was impeccable. It was on point. Your foot movement, it was like you were in a ballet. It was like you was gliding on ice. Everything she threw, you had an answer for it. Every time she attacked you, you retreated. I don't want to use the word retreat, but you adjusted. You adjusted for everything she had, and the final outcome of this fight is what we're about to see now. It is the telltale sign of a hard-fought count. It's the telltale sign of, a count that was well organized. It was well put together. And when you work hard and you put the time and effort into, the sacrifices into it, this is what you get. So let's sit back and let's enjoy the last few minutes of what's about to happen right now. Sure, your promoter, Marshall Kaufman with King's Promotions, as it was a King's Promotions.
Yeah, Marshall Kaufman.
There was a King's Promotions card. There's the WBA representative as she steps into the ring. And it was nice too that you had a female referee to hold this fight, and
Yes,
that made it even more
Sparkle.
special. Yeah.
It did. She was a great referee as well.
Yes. So I'm going to turn the volume up now as they start making the announcement. So what are you all saying to each other right now? Y'all are talking and y'all are you're chumming it up. You're warriors. You know, what are you all saying to each other at that moment? And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to these two ladies. After 10 tough rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Both Judge Basile and Judge Rubenstein see the bout 99-91, and Judge Morgan sees the bout 96-94. All in favor for your winner by unanimous decision. And the new WBA Bantamweight champion, Brittany.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our new Bantamweight champion is EagleFlex Sims from Midtown, Pennsylvania. The United Eagles cheering. She is a product of Eagles in this camp, along with Jonathan Rodriguez and Andre the Tiger Ortiz. We got a great stable mates. You know, I just want to say we here at WBA Sports, we're so very proud of you young ladies. We're proud of the accomplishments. We're proud of everything that you have done and everything that you have gone through to get to this point. And we want to say, you know, thank you, thank you, thank you. We couldn't be more proud of you, and keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to continue to support you. We're going to continue to back you. We're going to continue to look for you as you continue your journey, because I know by winning this fight, it was an eliminator. So now that you're the WBA international champion, you now put yourself in position to fight for the WBA world title fight in the Bantamweight division. And like I said again, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being a part of RWB Sports tonight. I couldn't be more proud of you. You know, I'm going to keep looking you up. I'm going to keep looking for you. Thank you very much. This is Reginald Peoples with RWB Sports. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you in the turn.